Hello, my first graders. So this week it's a little tricky. Last week we had the AR combination, which makes the R sound like a pirate, right? This week you're going to see R. We have three different ways to write R. So these are R controlled words: ER, IR, UR. Now I'm going to tell you right away: ER, IR, UR. All three of these make the same sound: ER-I-R-U-R. We've done a lot with ER because we have seen that added to the end of words. So we've practiced this before. ER says right? We've heard that before. IR also says UR, So because we know ER making the sound, IRUR says exactly the same thing. ERIRUR. All say Okay, we call them R controlled vowels. So when you see them together, you have to know that E is no longer going to make the S sound, right? ER, when you see it, you know it's Well, it's the same thing with IR. IR, when you see it, The R kind of controls everything, right? R makes the sound. Well, when it's together, it controls the vowel, and together it just says Same thing with UR. Together, it just says The vowel no longer does any talking. Okay, so ERIRUR, Here's the part. It is hard for us to know which one to use, which R control to use. Do we use ER, IR, or UR? Because it makes the same sound. So when you're sounding something out, trying to write it, it's hard to know which one. It just takes practice, going through and practicing writing them. So the more you see it, the more you read it, the more you say them, then you start to memorize which R controlled combination we use. So it's just practice. There's no real easy way to do it. So that being said, what I really want you to be able to do is read the R control words. I want you to be able to look at it and say, that's how I can read that. The other thing I want you to be able to do is when you see it to know, hey, this is definitely how you spell her. Okay, so when you look at it, you know which one it is that they are using. So let's go through and read these words, okay? So remember, all three of these, they all say okay? So when we see it together, like an ER together, we have to know that's an okay? So let's go through. So here are our ER words this week. There are a lot of ER words. And remember, ER shows up at the end of a lot of words. So even though there's not many here, we see ER all over, which you've learned from reading groups when we're doing reading and our stories of the week and other sight words that we've had that have ER in them. So let's take a look. Her, earn, fern. Okay, a fern is a leafy kind of plant. It has big leaves. Sometimes you find them, sometimes people plant them in pots, hanging baskets. Fern, it's a leafy plant. Okay, but ER makes the sound. When we see it, we put it together. That's why my line's underneath them both. Okay, so that's our her, fern. Now look, these all have IR, but remember when you see the IR, put it together. Still makes the sound, just like ER. Sir. That's what we call an older man, sir. Oh, here's our ST. Stir something. Girl, bird. Oh, look at this. TH. So remember, always be on the lookout for things that we know in words, right? We know the TH sound. Third. Okay, like you're third in line. Okay, so again, IR for all these words still just makes the sound. Okay, UR. Fur. We've seen this in one of our stories, right? An animal has a can have like a polar bear, right? The polar bear has thick fur. Okay, fur. Hurt. Earn, turn. Okay, so in all these words, E-R, I-R, U-R, they all say but when you see them together, you have to know, hey, I put them together. Okay, if you try to sound it out separately, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. No, you have to know, when you see them together, it makes the sound. Hurt. Okay, same thing. Stir. Okay, E-R, I-R, U-R. They all make the sound. So it's going to take a little bit of practicing this week to get used to that. Okay, but remember, when you see them, put them together, right, to make the sound.